So Prophet Telvin have to reveal some, bitter truth about some men of God in this country, Ghana, or even in the whole of Africa, or globally, however you look at it. And it is about, most especially, election prophecies, okay? And how people use hype to prophesy. I'm not going to say much. Let's go watch this one.
Back, because now they could not take the Moab city. But then the prophecy said, as for the Moabites, I'll offer them unto you. So it was turned. It was turned by a sacrifice, a crucial sacrifice that could temper with the reality of a prophecy. So that's that kind of condition. I don't think in this moment in time there are people that are capable of making such sacrifices. So most prophecies do come to pass, but there are prophecies that do not come from the place of divine instruction. So it's normally based on trend, and that's one thing I've studied. There's quite a lot of people that follow trends in prophesying, so we are more or less like I studied a lot of things. I'm a person that really like to study things in a scientific perspective, because I'm very skeptical in many things I do. So I look at it and I'm like, okay, let's put this thing together on the table, let's review this thing. This is how it is going. How do these people prophesy? How does it work? So we learn from it, and I realized that we prophesy according to trend. Like, let's just say during the 2024 election, from the beginning of the campaign, you study from, let's say, 2023, you see there is a little hype where people are like, okay, MPP is not going to leave the power, they're going to remain, they're not going to allow anybody to take over and everything. So you would see a lot of prophets had one mouth. Do not worry, there is not going to be change in government. Breaking the 8, all those campaigns were running, and there were people prophesying it like constantly, and others were in it. Nothing will change as the way it is going. The NDC will not come to power. They kept prophesying that. In 2024, people began to do the same thing. Then they took a center position where they are not going for the right or the left. So they are in the central point. As they maintain the central point, it's all based on campaign hype most of the time. So you see people are making noise, mama, then everybody starts going, mama is going to win. Mama is going to win. Then they hear, Baumia, Akufo-Addo is not going to allow. This is not going to allow. Then they all move towards that side.
So it's not necessarily coming from God then.
Exactly. So you have quite a lot happening that way, but not all of them. You have quite a lot of them moving according to trend. I've studied it in this current primaries that is ongoing. We had a very, like how the Honorable Kennedy Ejapon is putting a lot of fight for the media. So he's pushing quite a lot. And as the push is going on, you're seeing a lot of people coming out like, Kennedy Ejapon is going to win, and here and there, here and there, here and there. So the hype rises, and then the prophecies goes for the hype. The hype dwindles down, then the prophecies turn from that angle. So once, let's say by the end of this month to next month, you'll begin to see a strong campaign by Baumia as well. And when you begin to see that, you'll see the prophecies will tilt towards that direction. Baumia. Then when it looks uncertain, then they will take a middle position. So when they take a middle position, that's when you begin to realize there's uncertainty. Which means that if the message is coming from God, you will stand by it. Because even if it does not come to pass, obviously something may have happened along the line. Like how it happened in 2 Kings chapter 3 verse 14 down there. So things could happen, but there are certain structure, like our timeline prophecies, they are mainly way ahead of it. So that one's, they are very precise in this work. So that's how it is.
One of the, in my early days in school, I went to a boarding school and were literally encouraged, I won't say forced, encouraged to read the word practically every day. Sure. And even go out there on Sundays when we go to church. We're supposed to do Bible recitals in church.
Surely.
At the time, of course, I was a kid. A lot of the things I read, I barely even understood. But I still remember to this day, thou sayest the Lord.
Thou sayest the Lord.
The prophets in those days, the ones from God, of course, in those days, I got the impression that it's not about me.
Right.
This is coming from someone high up, so that it doesn't look like I am taking the glory.
The glory, yes.
Thou sayest the Lord. And then they say whatever they would want to say.
Surely.
And in those books, especially 1 Kings, 2 Kings, like you mentioned, you see, a lot of these things. Any particular reason why these days it appears to me, I'm not speaking for anyone else, to me, that a lot of these prophets, it's pretty much about them. The way they talk,
Right.
the way they carry themselves. It's it's about them. It's not even glory to the Lord. It's really about them. Why is that?
Okay. So we have a situation, a culture of self-promotion, and in that angle, we have a lot of pride in the system. And in this condition, in this era where we are moving in, everybody is claiming power to be the best, to be the biggest, and it's mainly based on gain. But the Bible said in 1 Timothy chapter 6, coming downwards, it began to speak about perverse disputing with men of corrupt minds and this of the truth, supposing that godliness is gain. He said, from such turn away. But godliness with contentment is a great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. And he continued to state that having food and raiment, let us be content. And he broke it down where he said, when for the love of money is the root of all evil, whereas one have coveted after they have erred from the faith, and they have been pierced through with many sorrows. So he explained the structure, the erring from the faith. A lot of people started well, we all move accordingly, but sometimes you get to a point where there is a lot of power play, where there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of statements, and people are hyping you. You are the number one, you are the nation's prophet, you are the greatest, you are the this. And if you don't take at one point in time, you will think the power is your own. That is why anywhere I go to, I always state clearly that we don't control any of these things. It is by the grace of God. And whatever he chooses to do is what he does. The Bible said the most high ruleth in the affairs of man, and he chooses where he sends it to. So at the end of the day, we do not control it. It is by the grace of God. But then we get to a point when the hype is too much, we are forward in our minds that we have the power. And when we think we have the control and the power, that's when we start making that statements like, I will do this, I can do this, I am the greatest, I am the top, and I am the this. And it's normally a situation that normally happens to us as we begin to grow through that system. So I believe that these are some of the markings to know. Sometimes a prophet may entirely be a true prophet, but pride always sets in the human nature, because human nature will always play a very dirty game in our lifestyle. And that's where we have to be able to stay by the scripture, because the scripture entreats us to be humble and then give glory that belongs to God. But in this condition, you do not find some, because the power is a lot. Where we sit, the power is a lot. You see great men kneeling down in front of you, or trying to hold your feet, kings bowing down to you, taking their crowns and holding your feet and everything. So at one point in time, if you don't take it, you think you are the Almighty. And by the time you realize, you say this will happen and it happens, that will happen and it happens. You say this will happen to somebody and it happens. And at one point, you think you are some sort of deity. And then you start talking just the way you like. And that's where the problem comes in. And the Bible says pride is a very, very big situation, clearly. Exactly.
Now,
so,
with this clarity that you've given to me, if any one of these prophets, let's say me sitting here, I see red flags, because I think that, Charlie, this man, the way he's carrying himself, the way he's going about things, then I see some of these people, if you like, around leadership. So let's say presidents, let's say ministers and all of that. These are people who we have entrusted our development in.
Right.
And I see that these are the people who are relatively closer to the president and offering some kind of advice
to the president.
Don't I have a cause to be worried about that?
Of course. You have a cause to be worried, because
I'm wondering what kind of advice this prophet is offering, the leader who is supposed to be steering the affairs of the land.
Yes, I've been at the forefront of such situation before, and I get to realize that it's normally about gain. Anytime someone becomes a leader, most prophets are their mercy. So I was telling one of my people one thing that, as for me, I have made it a point that the truth has to be told. If the person is not going where they're supposed to go to, you have to tell them the truth. And the truth has to be told. And the president or the leaders are not mainly the ones controlling the whole country. They are working with a whole lot of people, and some people will always be bad nuts in between. That will create a whole lot of situations around. And that's what causes most of those problems. And I always tell people that once a person becomes president, and then someone prophesies about them becoming president, and they get the opportunity or anything, leadership, what the prophets end up doing is that they go about soliciting for funds, begging for money. Oh, can I get a car? Can I get a house? Can I get something? You have to bring me some money. Oh, get me some opportunity. I need some appointment. Give me some contract. So they go about begging from the people they are supposed to be instructing. So at one point in time, the prophet is a puppet of the leader. So the leader is not the one controlling the prophet actually, because he's the one feeding the prophet. So when the prophet puts aside what to eat and puts aside all the gain, they will be able to speak the truth, because mostly it's gain that is choking everybody's mouth from saying the truth. And it applies to every sector on the face of the earth. It's what you would gain from them, because the person is in power. And then you feel like, okay, if I tell this person the truth, I'm swinging at the king. And if I swing at the king and miss, there's a situation, because they are in power. They can create a whole lot of situations. So a lot of people are like, okay, they are in power. Let me just get what I'll eat. If I get what to chop, I'll be quiet. If there's another opportunity, I'll prophesy again. And there are pastors that are actually weaponizing prophecy for election. Yes, they weaponize it. Many people have come to an understanding that they have a level of following. So if I prophesy that this party will not come to power, and then automatically once I release that word, my followers will tilt towards the other party. So they weaponize it. That okay, if this person is not doing what I want them to do, tomorrow I will say another thing. So in another sense, I'll prophesy against them. And that's that kind of situation we have.
I see. Let's try to extend a conversation a bit further.
Right.
Early in the conversation, you talked about the roles you play in areas like security and nation building within the context of peace and stability and all of that. So I see situations where, let's say, when a country is at war, when there are challenges in the nation on the lines of security, men of God are invited, pray, help to sustain the situation. You see that normally around the world. But if you take, let's say, the economic side of the conversation. Growing up, I saw the efforts of the mission churches.
Right.
They are building schools, they are building hospitals, they are contributing to a very large extent in providing opportunities, because in their own small way, they are helping the nation to grow in a certain way.
Right.
One of the things you would see about our prophets, the ones all of us know, it's some we see them living very lavishly, for want of a better word, living
Absolutely.
lavishly and barely providing. Maybe they do, but we don't know, or maybe we don't even hear about it. But what we see of, or what we've seen of the mission churches and building schools and building hospitals, these very powerful, influential prophets who have established, if you like, all kinds of ministries and all of that. Any particular reason some do not appear? I say some because some may be doing.
You wonder why fixed deposit is not working for you. You wonder why treasuries bonds is not working for you. Yes, it's not going to work for you because you are not part of the top 1%. You don't have $1 million, you don't have $1 billion, but you want to find ways to make like $400, $500, $200 in a day and be good and live good, $1,000 and live good. Yes, I have a template for you. I have a masterclass for you that is going to change your life forever. And I'm talking about how to master forex trading like a pro, how to master crypto trading like a pro, how to master synthetics trading like a pro, how to master stocks trading like a pro. The blueprint is there, the strategy is there. All you need to do is to make a bold step. Visit our website right now. Join me and let's do this like a pro. My name is Jordan Nixon, and I'm here to give you the template that you need that is going to change your life forever. Let's go and let's do this. Make it happen. Let's go. So the man of God cited a very important scenario that is in regards to Baobia and then Kennedy in Japan. Now Kennedy is having all the media hype. Yes. And a lot of people have seen the flaw of Baomia in the 2024 elections, presidential elections. And so people are using that to count as a factor for him to lose in the primaries. I know definitely that has been a major factor for Ken. It has been a major factor for him in his campaigning. You get what I mean to say. So the truth of the matter is, the prophecies that are also emanating or coming out are prophecies that came out because of the kind of aura that Kennedy was having in the media space, okay, when he took it upon himself to go again as for in the primaries, everybody was rallying behind him. But the truth of the matter is, it was the same thing in 2020, whatever. Is it 2023, 2024? Yeah, before they voted. 2023, I think primaries happened 2023 for MPP. I don't know, something like that. And there are people who said what they want to say. People who have what they believe in. Some people just even prophesy because, the Ashantis are having that huge impact in the MPP party. Some prophets even consider those things and say, okay, Kennedy Japan is going to win. And the media hype out there, the aura out there. I mean, Kennedy is a big man. He's an honorable man, right? But then, so there are some people who are very honorable and then things happen to them, right? Unfortunate situations happen to them, like maybe losing the primaries. Okay? You can have all the aura, but you lose primaries. You understand? It's just normal. And it's like a competition. Definitely somebody's going to fall out. And it's that simple. But the problem is people using circumstances to prophesy, right? And you see, and then people who think they are king makers, but they are not. You see, you can be a prophet, right, called into office, but maybe you are not a king maker, and so you don't have that grounds, you don't have that capacity to make a king, like the likes of Samuel. Samuel is a king maker. He's a prophet of God, right? Grew up under Elkanah, if I'm right with that, the man of God, Elkanah. Samuel was a king maker. Elkanah even couldn't make kings. Samuel was a king maker, right? There are only few prophets who are king makers. They are major prophets. Those people are major. Most of them are major prophets. And so, you see, you cannot use because you can see a thing or two or whatever and prophesy. One-on-one prophecy is different. No? To go deeper into some other stuff too is also different. You understand? So you cannot use. You can say, Nick, you are Nicholas. Maybe there's some name that I don't even use. You say, okay, this name, they call you by this name. That's fine. That's deep. That's good, crazy prophecy in there. But it's different from saying Kennedy is going to be president by way of you installing him. It's different. That requires another level of capacity, like what Samuel did for, David. Okay, Samuel brought Saul. Samuel brought David. You see that guy? He brought Saul. He brought David. You understand me? So and then he passed on to the extent that when he passed on, they were consulting him, his ghost, to prophesy to them. Okay, so we have kingmakers. It's not, and then we have other prophets too. Elkanah was there. You understand me? But does he have the capacity to make kings? No. So it's two different things. There are people who can have influence in making kings and all of that, and there are people who cannot. You understand me? So that's one thing you need to know. So that's it from Prophet Telvin. So make sure to subscribe, share, like this video, and I'll advise you to, those of you who are interested in cryptocurrencies, join my Telegram channel. And look, I don't play. You understand me? If I say I'm a finance guy, I mean it. Okay, I have a profession in accounting. Like I have a degree in accounting, so I don't play. Okay, so if I know about crypto, it's not just maybe I know a thing or two. No, I'm a master in that place. I'm a master in forex. I'm a master in this, then that. Understand? So if you have the chance to contact me, it's not play. I don't play. Have you seen me laughing? I don't play. So it should be about business. No testing to show me how to buy SLM. Jokes, all jokes. Okay, I don't do that. Right? If you are enrolling on a mentorship, you are enrolling in a mentorship. There are things that I teach my people in mentorship. There's free knowledge on YouTube. You can go for them. But when the catastrophe comes and you are crying, I'm not part of that. My name is Shadan Nixon. I'm out. Make sure to subscribe, share, like this video.